What up? I'm in Sonora, Mexico, checking out some of these beautiful places out here on the beach. Such a blessing, right? Like, just open seas. It's just abundance to me. That's the way I see it. The water, infinite amount of water. And the temperature's just right. It's splashing up on me, making me feel good. It's beautiful. I was just sitting here thinking about how fast things can happen in 12 months. This time last year, I had a girlfriend that I thought we were going all the way. We had a really nice place, and I didn't have much of a business back then. I even had a side hustle flipping furniture just to get by. I bought a trailer, I bought a storage unit, and then I started flipping free furniture, and I made a living off of that. And it gave me the opportunity to continue in my business and not, have to go get a job. And so that experience was so worth it. And now, I'm in Mexico 4 months ago. Okay, so let me rewind a little bit. So about that time when me and my ex split up, maybe like a month or two later, a client of mine and a really great friend of me now, Nicholas Trevelyan, there's a ClickFunnels group, and he messaged, he's looking for, because I build sales funnels, I help businesses with their marketing, their advertising, and he was looking for somebody, so he messaged the Facebook group saying, hey, I need a funnel builder. And then a business partner of mine at the time tagged me in the post, and I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, like, look at, this is what I've done, blah blah blah. Fast forward, he hires me, and then we start working together and start having a great experience, relationship, business relationship, everything. And about 4 months after we started building funnels and kind of doing business together, he invited me out to San Diego to speak at his Triumphant Life Mastermind. It's at the Triumphant House, so he rents out basically a mansion, and we all, it's like a mastermind. So you're there, you're learning. There's other people speaking, and so he invited me out to come speak on what I teach, or on what I do for business owners, which is sales funnels and advertising. And so I was like, hell yeah, that's a great opportunity. It was the first time I had spoke at something like that even. And, so I booked a plane ticket out, came, visited, did my presentation, got to know these guys here at the Triumphant Life Mastermind, Triumphant House, really well, and actually developed some, best friends. So the whole experience was great, but by the time I was ready to leave, I had my flight after like 3 days of being there. We were going to look at the naval ships. They had a brand new one that they just built, and someone was going to give us a tour. And so I was like, man, it might be worth spending $150 more to stay for another day or two. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna cancel my flight and just get my flight back whenever I'm ready, because I had an opportunity to stay at my buddy's house. And procrastinated, and then eventually made the decision to stay here in San Diego where I live now. And even more to the story there is I had another business partner at the time that we were working on some things for real estate agents, and we were about to launch, and jealousy kind of took a role. Jealousy played out in this scenario where he didn't like that I was in San Diego giving presentation, and decided to lash out and start talking shit, acting like I'm not good enough basically to do what I was doing. And it was a sign to me. I believe in the universe and God, and just all that kind of stuff. And so it was a sign to me, like, hey, maybe this is my opportunity. I've wanted to live by the beach. I've wanted to go live somewhere else, but I've never been committed enough to go actually do it. And Nick was my chance. And so I was like, you know what? This guy is not a great business partner for me, clearly. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going back. And so, you know, as soon as I made that decision, the universe or God or whatever literally started laying things out for me. You know, I got more and more clients as I've been here in San Diego, and I've continued to get better. I've gotten more material. So it's amazing how the universe, or whatever, I'll just call it the universe, has our back and, you know, lays things out for us when we make decisions that are best for us. But when I moved here, like, I didn't have a place to stay. I hotel roomed it for like 3 nights, and then I had an opportunity to stay at a friend from where I'm from, Boise, Idaho. She invited me over to stay at her place for like a month, and pay rent or whatever. So hell yeah, just things are lining up. First night I get there, her boyfriend wants to fight me because he was just drunk and emotional. And so I just left. I was like, fuck that. I'm not a fighter. I don't like confrontation and, you know, whatever. And so my credit card was shut down. My phone was dead. I didn't have a place to stay. And so I literally walked around the corner of her place after walking out and slept on the grass for the night. Granted, there's a lot of people, you know, that are homeless. It was the very first time I'd ever been quote unquote homeless. I didn't know where I was. I was in a city I'd never been to. I just had no clue, no directions, didn't know how to get transportation, had no money, had no way to get a hold of anybody. So it was a humbling experience. But on that day, like, I remember vividly, I started meeting a bunch of people that really cared, and they were like, hey man, if you need anything, I got you. Got a bunch of people's numbers. Never ended up needing it, but you know, got my card linked back up the next day. So it was only one day, but it was an experience I'm super glad I went through. Then I got a couple more days at a hotel, started looking for a place, and on the last day at my hotel that I was staying at, I had someone going through the approval process to get me approved for this place. It was not a yes or a no. It was the last day. It was the day I was checking out. And I was going to a Grant Cardone seminar that day, so I left my bags at the hotel and was just like winging it. You know, went to Grant Cardone, went and had something to eat, and it was like 4 o'clock by this time, and I really didn't want to get another hotel, and got the call, you're accepted, come put your stuff here. And so now I've been living here for like 3 months. I'm in Mexico right now, but San Diego is what I'm in. Living here for 3 months. So that's kind of the full circle story. Like 12 months ago, had a girlfriend, thought I was going to marry, and just everything changed. As soon as I did what was best for me, and it always happens like this, is I always know what's best for me. Whether or not I listen to myself, that's another story. Mostly I do, but some of the times I get stubborn and I don't, right? I'm sure we can all agree with that or relate to that in some way. But if you're an entrepreneur out there, if you're not an entrepreneur but you want to go chase your dreams, obviously, I'm going to say go do it, right? Easier said than done, but there might be a decision that you feel like you need to make right now that you just don't know how to say yes to. And my suggestion for that is just to say yes and go with it. Like, burn the ships. That saying is so true. Like, when I moved from Boise to Idaho, I had my backpack and a suitcase. I sold my Jeep back home once I found a spot. but like I burned my ships. I left everything at home. I had my family. That was an easy place for me to feel comfort because, you know, they had my back, right? Of course. And it was easy to lean on them. And so I was like, you know, I gotta jump. I gotta go. I gotta chase my dreams. I gotta really prove to myself that this is what I want and this is the life that I want to live. Like, this is the life I want to live, 100%. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Not that, you know, this is the life you want to live. You got an idea of what that looks like, right? But maybe it is moving somewhere else, you know? Maybe it is quitting the job and just figuring it out as you go. Like, you know, the way will be provided as long as you make that decision and say yes to yourself. You know, go all in on yourself. Say yes. Bet on yourself 100% of the time. Like, it's just amazing what you're really capable of. Like, I didn't know I was capable of all this until I said yes, and until I just went with the flow, you know? I had no freaking plan, but the plan presented itself, and the plan was way better than the plan I had before. So make that move, leave, you know, break up with that person if you need to. If you feel like it's wrong, do it. You're just hurting yourself, prolonging that process. You know that relationship is bad for you. Get out and go find what is truly good for you. Like, at the end of the day, our life is, we are the most important person in our life, and we have to take on that role so that way we're not always filling up somebody else's cup. We're filling up ours so much that it overflows and takes care of everyone else in the process, you know. And that's how we got to become the greatest versions of ourselves, so that, you know, our family can experience that. As we change ourselves, the world changes. You know, as you become more consciously awake, aware, whatever, the world becomes more aware of itself. If you notice, since if you're watching this, you may be on this journey with me, the more you've gotten better, the more you see it out in the world, if you're paying attention. Since it could be easy to not pay attention, but if you really look at it, you know, the people around you, if you're maybe elevating because of it. I can say that for my family, you know, everyone is like happier, and I'm not saying I'm taking credit for that, but you know, they see it and it's infectious, and that's how we change the world. We don't change the world by going out and trying to change everybody's life. We change ours. If we just all change our own life, it'd be a utopia. Easier said than done, right? Obviously, or we'd be living there. And I feel like we can. I've got some crazy beliefs that you'll probably get to know here soon. But I believe that we can achieve that. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some inner work, and that's the work. That is the work. You know, so moral of the story is chase your motherfucking dreams. Do what makes you happy. Like, make yourself happy first. Just do it for you. Just do it for you. Take that leap. Do what you got to do. You know what you got to do from here. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful ride. And we're just getting started. I'm excited.